Are you an idiot? Well, you're in good company. There are about 8 billion idiots on this planet, and that number grows every day. Don't be the guy or gal that says, "I'm not an idiot," because that makes you the biggest idiot of all. We all have our moments of brilliance and our moments of idiocy. Embrace it, folks. Don't be ashamed. Without those idiot moments, we would never be able to appreciate our brilliance. Welcome to I Love My Idiot, a podcast about the idiots we love, the idiots we loathe, and the idiots we can't seem to avoid. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Visit our website at ilovemyidiot.com.
Welcome to another episode of I Love My Idiot. I am your equal host, Rosie November, and as you might notice, I'm the only host today. Clyde is still a part of the podcast. He's just not going to be recording anymore with me. Instead, he's like making sure shit's ready for Rosie and then just making sure it keeps recording because that's the job he's going to do now. He's retiring from podcasting. I know, it's very sad. I'm sad too. He's still going to be a part of it. He's still a producer on the podcast and he helps me out like a ton because podcasting, as you all know, is not always the easiest thing to do alone. So 2020 in review is kind of what I wanted to talk about today because this is my first episode of 2021. We all lived through the dumpster fire of 2020. So I thought it might be good to chat about that, some of the things that happened in 2020. So 2020 was like a really big year for our family in particular. Clyde and Rosie decided to separate this year in 2020. Really tough decision, but it is what it is. So in all of that, I'm still running the podcast. So I'm hoping that my listeners are still out there. Surprisingly, we haven't recorded in 6 months, but Scotland and Ireland are still holding us up. They are our most popular listeners. So thank you to Scotland and Ireland for continuing to support Clyde and Rosie, even in the break time. I plan on continuing to record every week now, so getting a new episode out weekly is the goal. Clyde's still going to be helping me, thank God, because I can't do it alone. So yeah, he just doesn't want his voice on here anymore. Anyways, got to start somewhere, right? And 2021 is going to be an interesting year. Hopefully we come down from the events of 2020 and are creating new starts for 2021. Really excited to be podcasting today. I am running solo today. I had no guest speakers, but I intend to have more in the future as we keep going with this thing. I really wanted to start out with sort of a review of 2020. A lot of really interesting things happened last year. Believe it or not, we have just gotten through our 1-year anniversary on January 13th of the first time we heard about this weird, strange thing called COVID-19. It's, to be exact, been 1 year, 2 weeks, and 3 days ago that we all got that same notice. Believe it or not, here we are, folks. That happened. It's the start of 2020 came in with a bang. Yeah, I would say 2020 definitely was consumed a lot by COVID and all that it had to offer. Good, bad, ugly. There were a lot of interesting things that happened in 2020 that we didn't really consider because the big overarching issues were so big. But not to get all like biblical on you, but I'm telling you, swarms of locusts happened in Africa in 2020. Like, what? That's weird. Took out like a bunch of crops. It felt like sort of like the end was near. Our good friends in Boise, Idaho faced the biggest earthquake that they'd had in a long time, shook them up. We had earthquakes like in Utah, kind of all over, that really in the middle of a pandemic was probably the worst time for those things to happen. Kind of made us all feel like our worlds were crashing for sure. Sports took a big hit in 2020, which made Clyde very sad. He definitely had some tough times facing the fact that his sports were gone for a period of time and then placed in a bubble for the remainder of the time. So that was very, very interesting. We saw the first sort of halftime show during the Super Bowl that was different than anything we'd seen before because of the circumstances and crowd limits. But don't worry, Clyde continued to support his sports because it's very important to him. So yeah, that all happened in 2020. Some things that, as I was doing some research to try to figure out, that I kind of forgotten about was, do you guys remember the murder hornets? Yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing for like 5 minutes. The murder hornets came, but they did no murdering. So it was kind of like a big story that sort of crashed and failed. I don't know if the murder hornets are still out there murdering, but haven't heard from them recently. We were all looking around, I guess. They didn't really make it to Denver, so I think Washington State kind of took the brunt of that story. Washington State was also one of the first states that had a COVID-19 death, so I think we all thought that was going to be the place that got hit the hardest, and then it really just took over everywhere else. So that poor state had to go through a lot this year. Let's see. People paid $30 on Disney Plus to watch Mulan, the live show, from their homes. That happened. I happen to be one of those people who paid $30 to watch that show because movie theaters were closed. And you know what? We were willing to pay to watch something new from home. So the live action Mulan was definitely purchased by the November family for $30. Totally worth it. Let's see. Space Force came out on Netflix early in the year. Maybe it was even like late last year, but some of us watched that. I have no regrets. Clyde, however, didn't enjoy it. So we had disagreeing feelings about Space Force. Let's see, what else? Macaulay Culkin turned 40. Like, come on. What? Wasn't he like 6 years old yesterday? I don't know. That's crazy to me. But yeah, he turned 40. So Home Alone, pretty old, I guess. I don't know. I always thought he was the same age as me. Turns out he's actually a couple years older than me. Not much, but a couple. So anyways, happy birthday to him. He's going to be 41 this year. So good for Macaulay Culkin. Vin Diesel made a music video. I mean, I watched it. That happened in 2020. Let's see. Aunt Becky went to prison for trying to help her kids with college. That happened. It's kind of weird. Yeah. Clyde and Rosie both took a hit this year when it came to Taco Bell because they did take away the quesarito, which was Clyde's all-time favorites. They also took away the 7-layer burrito. Clyde was kind of out when it comes to that. Honestly, it might be why the divorce happened. Taco Bell, it's all your fault. I'm just saying. Tiger King got its fame, and the crazy lady Carol Baskin went on Dancing with the Stars 2020. Yeah, crazy. Also, I wonder if Clyde's still watching documentaries. Clyde, are you still watching documentaries? He can't get enough. He freaking loves documentaries. Dude, Clyde, just come on. Get your voice back on this podcast. We miss you. I'm useless without you. Let's see. It was a pretty terrible year for movies, all in all, 2020. I am sad to report that we did watch Cats in theater. Little Rosie's favorite song is the Memory song. I think we talked about it like on episode 20 something that we had gone and seen Cats. That did happen in 2020. We also risked the vid to go see Dr. Dolittle in theater and Sonic the Hedgehog. So great year for movies, 2020. Thank you especially for bringing those three to me and all the Novembers. I mean, awesome. Lots of like major world events happened, but I don't really want to get into them because this is a funny show and they all bum me out. So I'm totally not going to talk about those. Although I do find it interesting that in the middle of like all the COVID stuff, all of a sudden they're like, hey, Ebola's showing back up in Africa. And we're all like, wait, we can't handle 2 major diseases. Good thing that kind of died out. It didn't turn into a thing, but I was just waiting for like, I don't know, them to say, oh yeah, H1N1, we got all this stuff going on. Yeah. We pretty much contained it with the vid and the flu for 2020, thank God. But a few of those others tried to creep in to make it even worse. Kanye West went for president for like half a minute. That was kind of weird in 2020. Elon Musk did a bunch of stuff. Most notably, my in-laws watched hours of TV waiting for something to go into space. I don't really know what happened with that. I know Elon was there. It was the first time I'd ever actually seen what he looks like because he was, on TV waiting for this thing to go into space. Also, you may not know this, but a star just went completely missing in 2020. Gone. Fell into a black hole, died. A star died in 2020. In the actual sky, guys. Crazy. Super crazy. Oh yeah, we heard about there might be water on the moon and potential microbials on Mars. Not sure how they found out that stuff, but I guess it was noteworthy for 2020. All you scientists out there are like, Rosie, come on. This is the most important thing that happened in 2020. Why are you just making a joke out of it? Because this is a podcast about being silly. So yeah, that's what happened. Ooh, Colorado experienced some really interesting drone activity. Don't think we didn't hear about it, because we did. Nebraska kind of experienced some of the same things. I don't know if they were trying to distract from COVID, but some UFO videos were also revealed to the world. Really important, especially to Clyde. He made me watch them. Yeah, he did. What else happened in 2020? Lots of people died, but that's depressing, so I'm not going to talk about it. But you guys all know we lost a lot of good peeps in 2020. That's 2020 in review. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about? On our first episode, I did make my goals for the year. I do this every year where I take in a new journal and I make goals and I write in it for like 3 months and then I forget it exists until the next year when I need to make new goals. This year, made quite a few goals. Number 1, get Clyde back on the podcast. Guys, for reals, he needs to come back because Rosie is nothing without Clyde. He doesn't realize this, but I'm going to try to be very convincing that he needs to come back to the podcast. I did get a roommate because guess what? Shit's expensive by yourself. Seriously, living with new persons in the house. He's got a couple of kids too. What else? Yeah, my goals for 2020. So I decided years ago that I was no longer going to make goals that were unachievable because come on. It's depressing, right? If you make a goal and you can't achieve it, why even try? I mean, seriously, why do it? This year I made goals that are totally attainable. Last year, I met all of my goals, which was super cool. I had a savings goal. It was a certain number I wanted to reach in my savings account. Totally met it. I had a weight goal. I made that too. I lost 30 pounds last year, which was crazy. I also had family goals. Those ones kind of got messy last year, but I still feel like as a whole, our family is super close. And Clyde and I are best friends. We're best buds. We talk almost every day. We just live in different houses now, and our lives look a little different. We're still killing it as the November family. Let's see what else. I did decide to stay in November. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know if any of you have been through divorce, but don't do it. It sucks. One of the questions that they do ask you, though, is like, hey, do you want to keep your name? And I was like, yeah, November's the most awesome name ever. Why would I ever get rid of this name? I have zero intentions of getting rid of the November name. So anyways, I kept my name. What other goals? I have a couple of pretty big ones for 2021. Number 1, I want to make sure that this podcast stays alive. I did get the podcast in the divorce. I don't know why I got it when Clyde's so much better at it, but I did get it. I want to keep it alive. That is one of my 2021 goals. Number 2, I have another fitness goal that I don't know if I'll be able to achieve, because if I achieve this goal, then I will literally be the size I was when Clyde and I met when I was 20 years old. So yeah, that's a big deal. In March, Clyde and I will celebrate our 15 years of knowing each other, which is super cray-cray. I have a goal to talk to a member of my tribe every single day. Guys, seriously, we need to be connecting with our tribe. And what is a tribe, you might ask? A tribe are the people who care about you, and you know that they got your back no matter what. One of my goals for this year is to talk to a member of the tribe every single day. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do a vision board this year because last year was so messy that it sort of broke my heart to vision boards. So I'm not doing that, but I do have those few goals that I'm going to achieve. And then, of course, I have a financial goal. I don't know if I'll achieve it, but the podcast might help if I can get more listeners. So if you guys know anybody that wants to see this mug and listen to this podcast, let's do it. Clyde is super happy. I know he's not on here, but he's an incredible human being and he's doing good. I think the fact that we're still so close really helps. And the fact that he is still helping me with the podcast, I feel really good about this year. I am going to do my best, guys, to post for you every week. And hopefully I don't bore you to death. I really wanted this first podcast of 2021 to sort of just be about getting back in the groove and making sure that you guys see me and know that I'm still here for you and I still want to make you laugh. And so I'm going to do my best to make you laugh and make you smile every single week, because I feel like more than ever, it's important to keep us all laughing. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for today. I'm going to keep it short because it's just me and you guys are probably getting sick of hearing me podcast. So I'm going to sign out for today, but I'm going to be back next week. So I can't wait to see you all again and let me know what you think. If you have some topics that you want to hear, want to talk about it. And also, I will make sure that I do bring in other guests because you're not just going to want to hear from me all year. And to make sure that we keep it light, we keep it fun, and we keep it going. So Happy New Year. I know I'm 30 days late, but Happy New Year, and let's have a great 2021. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget that you can follow our podcast on any of your favorite podcasting platforms.
Make sure you click the follow button so that when we do finally get around to posting new episodes, you are notified and you can tune in.
That's right. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
If you can figure out a way or a platform to leave us a review, we would love that.
We would.
I've seen a handful of reviews out there, mostly positive. If it's a negative one, just don't bother.
Exactly. Keep those away from us.
I know. We want the love right now, people.
Exactly.
We need the love.
We need it. You can visit our website, ilovemyidiot.com.
Can I have this one, Rosie?
You can.
All
Take
right.
it away, Clyde.
Don't forget to tell your idiot that you love them.
I love you, Clyde.
I love you too, Rosie.
I love my idiot.
Yeah, Clyde and Rosie both took a hit this year when it came to Taco Bell because they did take away the quesarito, which was Clyde's all-time favorites. Honestly, it might be why the divorce happened. Taco Bell, it's all your fault. I'm just saying.